I'm going to survive 100 days as a mermaid. With the help of a magical necklace, I can transform into a mermaid and explore the oceans, face dangerous structures, meet other merpeople, and build a cozy underwater base. Unless the sharks find me first. It's day number 1 and it looks like I'm on a beach. And I'm also still a human. Because to become a mermaid, we need to obtain a magical sea necklace, which requires several ingredients to craft. And to even have a chance at finding those resources, we need to gear up first. So let's craft a wooden pickaxe. And let's go and look for stone. I also noticed the little starfish on the beach. We can pick them up too. These are so adorable. This one has little spikes. And there's another thing right here. What is this? It's a white seashell. There was a crab. Guys, there was a crab. I saw it. Hello? No, I just heard a chicken. That was awkward. Also, what is this weird rock here? A reef rock. I don't think we can use this to craft anything. But it looks like we won't be going hungry because there's food here. Cabbage. Yummy. The crab is back. I knew it was here. Yay! And it's running away again. It's scared of me. Poor little thing. It went all the way down to the water. Hello. No, it's so scared. And I just found some carrots. I got so distracted that I forgot that we need to find stone. Maybe there's something here in the dark oak forest. This dark oak forest is actually just a tiny island. So I didn't see any stone, but I just saw this entire stony shore. Wait a moment. That's not stone. That's gravel. I've been scammed. Just kidding. There's a bunch of stone over here. So let's mine all of this. Then we can craft all of the stone tools. And I also saw some iron here. So let's mine that too. And we also got some coal here, which is going to be good because we're going to have to go caving soon. Because one of the things we need to craft the sea necklace is a diamond. So we definitely need to get an iron pickaxe and some armor if you want to survive the caves because there are creepers. I also need to get a bed if I want to survive the first day. And there's a sheep right here. Perfect. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. 1 piece of wool. 2 more to go. And the sun is getting really low already. I'm not scared. Aw, look, there's a little fish here. No distractions. We need to find more sheep. I have a feeling these guys ate all of the sheep in the area. Uh-oh, it's getting dark. But at least I found more iron. I don't want to die on the first day. That's embarrassing. Yep, this is definitely bad. Also, guys, there's a thing in the ocean right there. It looks like a mutated axolotl. I'm so scared. Maybe if I do a little dance, the sun is gonna come back. And yes, I just spent 10 minutes sitting in a tree. But no, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. Now we can continue looking for sheep, but this time we gotta be careful because there could still be monsters lurking from the night. I just found something weird and scary in the ocean. A ship and some weird house that's drowning. How can a house drown? It doesn't have lungs. Ah! Stupid Enderman! Hi, fishies. Look at those little sharks. They're so cute. At least no giant sharks spawned. Oh yeah, I found another sheep. Please give me 2 wool. Of course it didn't drop 2. We just need to find 1 more. I found more food and this time it's onions. Finally, I found sheep number 3. Get wrecked. Now we have 3 wool and we can craft the bed. So no more creatures are gonna come crawling. Except in the caves where I have to go next because I need to find a diamond to actually become a mermaid. Oh my gosh, I found more sheep and a little baby dinosaur. Why are you here? That was the funniest noise ever. But let's leave, we're on a mission. I just had a really stupid idea because now that I have a bed, I can just set my spawn. There's a shark there, so good that I'm setting my spawn. Then let's grab more wood and let's craft a chest so we can dump all of our stuff in there. And I'm gonna go over to this ship. Wait, I should craft a boat, otherwise the sharks are gonna get me. I crafted a little birch boat and then I slept because night was approaching fast. Now let's see what that ship has to offer because we could be getting diamonds and don't have to go caving. Oh no, pillager flags. I have a feeling this is going to be dangerous. There's a spawner in the water. I hear you, pillagers. Har! They're so stupid. They just fell off something. Har, 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 har. Har. How about I just break in from the side? Ooh, there's iron. I needed that. There's TNT. There is TNT and there's a billion pillagers. How about no? You cannot get me. Ah! Ah! Where did they come from? Where did they? What? They literally took my boat. And there's some creepy mer creatures in the water. I made it back to shore without dying. And since we couldn't avoid going caving by looting the ship, because we couldn't loot the ship because we would have died, we need to get ready to descend into the scary caves. So we definitely need some iron armor and an iron pickaxe. And a lot of food, so while my iron is melting, I'm just gonna gather that. aka slaughter innocent farm animals. And at the end of the day, I had a bunch of food and 17 iron ingots. So now we can craft an iron pickaxe and a little bit of iron armor. Maybe we should just do the chestplate and save the rest for later in case we die in the caves. Not that I'm gonna die in the caves. I'm gonna slay. I'm manifesting the slaying, so I'm making a shield. Now let's go and fight some creatures. There's an opening right here. Maybe it's gonna lead to something nice. Or maybe it's just gonna lead to garbage. I'm so ready to slay, but I can't find a cave entrance that leads to deep slate. And the only big cave I find is filled with water. But there are usually caves under the water caves, so maybe this thing is giving me a sign. We just need to make a little air pocket in the ceiling so we don't drown. And then we can try digging straight down. Yes! Oh no. Ho 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 ho. There's a creeper and a cave spider spawner. This is exactly what I don't want to see. Hi, creatures. Ooh, diamonds on the wall straight away. Wait, this is perfect. Ooh, there's a cave spider spawner down there. Cave spiders have spawned. I'm doomed. Unless I go really fast. I just need 1 diamond, I think. It's fine. It's just 1 diamond too. Dang it. Bye, creatures. It was nice not having to slay you. Because I totally would have slain. Ah! Now let's quickly make another bed because I don't think I can make it over to my bed in time because things are gonna start spawning. And sleep. And that dinosaur thing is here again. And there's another creature in the river and it looks like a crocodile mermaid. I think once I'm a mermaid, I'm definitely gonna meet those guys. But we only have the first ingredient for the sea necklace. The next ingredient is a heart of the sea, so I have to go and find a sunken ship. But now I also have a shield and iron armor, so we could try and loot this ship here. Har har har. Let's break in from the other side this time. No TNT. I can do this, guys. I can do this. Got one. Now we break the spawner. And now this room is ours. Yes, an iron sword, an upgrade for us. And even more resources here. I'm also gonna mine up all of this coal and iron. We could also collect all of those hay bales because we could turn them into bread and then eat them. Let's also go up and see what they have up here. Let's block off the door so they cannot come in. And let's loot this. Yay, empty maps. Yay, even more empty maps and paper. Let's run out here and see what we have. Ew, it's raining. Ooh, more stuff. A wolf spawn egg. What the heck? That's so cheaty to have in survival. But it looks like there is no loot here, so no diamonds and no heart of the sea. Goodbye, pillagers. You all smell. I survived and I slayed. But now we really need to get out in the ocean, find a sunken ship, and get ourselves a heart of the sea. Which means I need to pack up all of my things, and since my inventory is completely full, I'm gonna craft a chest boat. Now we can dump all of our stuff in here. And on day 6, the great journey began. The mission is find a sunken ship and not die to underwater creatures, so that I can become an underwater creature. And after a bit of sailing, I found something. Look at this little krill fish, it's so cute. Just kidding, there's a ship here. Let's quickly go down there and hope there are no creatures. Ooh, purple shell fragment and nautilus shell fragment. Okay, that's kind of cool. Oh my gosh, I need to go back up. I need to breathe. I actually added a mod called Deeper Oceans, which means everything is much deeper underwater. I keep drowning, so I need to find a way to breathe underwater. So let's just grab some spruce wood and then we can craft a spruce door. And now let's get back down here, place our door. Then we can breathe inside and can loot everything in peace. We got some armor trims and some more nautilus shell fragments and a buried treasure map. That's what we were looking for. And I think there's also a hidden room down here and there's more stuff. Yes, so much iron. Now let's see where that map is gonna lead. I have a feeling I'm going the wrong way. Yep, I'm going the wrong way. On day 7, I was still looking for the treasure location because apparently I'm bad at reading maps. Almost there, almost there. It's somewhere here on this beach. Somewhere right here, so let the digging begin. That was a dirt block. Oh my gosh, I was so hopeful in that moment. I will find it. Found it. Heart of the sea. And there's literally a diamond, so I didn't even have to go look for one in the caves. Pro Minecraft. Now we take the heart of the sea and the diamond and we create a sea crystal. And then all we need to do is combine it with iron and create a sea necklace. We have it. And in our inventory, we have the special trinket slot and we can add it right here. But nothing happened yet. But how about we go into the water? Oh my gosh. 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 We got a mermaid tail. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I can swim. We have infinite water breathing and night vision too. And when we get out of the water, we're human again. I love this. On day 8, the pillagers came over to ambush me, but I ran away into the forest. There's actually a way to customize the mermaid tail, which of course needs a bunch of expensive resources. But there's one thing we can do already, and that is dye it a different color, which means I just need to find some flowers. Let's pick up some red ones. Now we make red dye, and then we dye the necklace red. Now let's go into the water again, and now we have a red tail. That is so cool. I'm a fish. Also, why do I have a conduit power? I think that's coming from the structure. Let's do our first mermaid adventure and loot it. Hello. There's a conduit here, and it's making scary noises. It doesn't look like anything evil is lurking here. Okay, there's literally nothing here, not even in these pods. I actually need to find a place to live, but that means I have to go swimming. So we have to say goodbye to the chest boat and all of the stuff in here. And let's go and find our new home. Because I don't just want to live in the ocean, I want to live in a tropical, warm ocean biome. Over here, it's just cold and full of drowned and sharks and other weird axolotl mutated men. He's creepy. So let's go to a coral reef. I feel like it's gonna take a long time to get there because there are so many weird weird structures here. Can I loot this? Please don't kill me. There's also garbage in here that I don't really need. But thank you for letting me steal your stuff. Hello there. Hello. He's creepy. Let's see what we have here. More food. Thank you. Oh my gosh, there's another guy here. Has a little glowing light in front of him. I thought they were going to be hostile, but it doesn't look like it. And I can just steal all of their stuff. That was fun, but let's keep going and find a warmer place. I think I already made it to a warmer part of the ocean because the water color has changed and we have a bunch of cool plants growing here. There's someone swimming towards me. Look, there's another mermaid. I love her. Look at her. She's swimming with the fishes. That's so cute. I love underwater life already. Now the ocean just got colder again and super scary. There's something terrifying about the ocean. How about no? There's a pillager outpost here. You guys have loot? Ah! Why did that scare me? I drowned. Ah! Okay, there are these guardians. Let's leave again. There are so many structures here. Once I gear up, I'm gonna have the time of my life looting them all. On day 9, I found a giant water cave full of diamonds. I never have to go caving again. Look at this, there's so many diamonds here. I also noticed mining underwater doesn't take ages with a pickaxe. We have 12 diamonds already. Oh my gosh, there are so many diamonds here. No way. I swam through the giant water cave system and kept finding more and more diamonds. We have 30 diamonds already, but I just keep finding more. I also found a giant iron vein, which means we won't be running out of iron anytime soon too. I love how I got completely sidetracked in these giant caves, and now I have 49 diamonds and a bunch of iron, but my inventory is completely full. So now we just have to find a way back out of this cave system, which is going to be really hard because I got so lost in here. I've definitely not been here before because there are more diamonds. We literally have 57 diamonds, but I also found the exit. On day 10, I was determined to not get distracted again and find the coral reef. Ooh, caves. Okay, there's one diamond. I have to get that. I'm not getting distracted. I'm just picking something up on the way. There's more. Look at this little seahorse. It's a tropical fish, which means the coral reef is there. Somewhere here is going to be our new home. Somewhere where the drowned don't live. Actually, looking at it, this place is full of creepy structures. But actually, this place right here looks really cute. We got a coral reef, we got a wall going up. I think there's actually land up there. It looks like it's a mesa island. And look how deep down the ocean goes. We could even live up here on this cliff. But next to it, we also got this sunken ship. So why don't we just set up a temporary base here where the drowned can't reach us? Let's put all of our stuff in here and then we're finally gonna have a free inventory again. Wait, and we actually got exactly a stack of diamonds? No way. Which means it's time for diamond armor. Look at me, full set of diamond armor. And we also gotta make some diamond tools. And we still have 35 diamonds left. And look, the neighbor came over to greet us. I'm so sorry. I don't like neighbors. Now we just have to figure out how we're going to build a house underwater and also what we're going to eat because I don't think there are any cows and sheep nearby. Just a bunch of these fish and I don't know if we could eat them. They dropped something. Where did it go? They dropped a sucker. Well, that sucks. Literally. On day 11, I was determined to find food, so I went looking for vanilla fish in the ocean. I also found this really weird looking structure and there's a bunch of drowned chasing me, so let's just go in. We got a barrel and there's some golden apples. Oh my gosh, look what I just found. Yay, it's a little baby mermaid. Don't ruin this moment, stupid drowned. Look, there's another one in a different color. But we still haven't found any food, just more terrible structures, which I'm gonna loot. Yay, one raw cod. We got food. I found another of those weird places, which has a room full of seeds. And this weird guy. So maybe we could try and replant them, so we actually have a food source here. I actually learned you can click on these people, and they accept something. This guy says accept any fish. Do you want this raw cod? Yay! Ah! Hello? Stupid drowned! You hit my mer person! That's so mean! Stupid, drowned, go away! The axolotl man gave me a little casket. Let's open it. We got a glowberry! This guy says he accepts any fish, so we can go and slay some tropical fish, and maybe he's gonna trade us food. We got another casket, more glowberries. Let's see if this guy here trades anything. Aquamarine. I have no idea what that is. Wait, is it this thing here? It is! Big brain moment. Take this. We got a farmer casket! Food, food, food! We got a sea pickle. Yay! This is a huge discovery because these mer people are like villagers but underwater, so we can trade them things and get useful resources. I literally just spent 5 minutes looking for this ship because I'd completely lost it. Everything in the ocean just looks exactly the same, which means we gotta change that and build a beautiful house so we can always recognize where we live. A place where these guys are not invited. For my starter house, we gotta use the limited resources that we have available in the ocean, which includes all of these corals. The problem is when we mine them, they turn into dead corals. corals, and I'm very far away from getting silk touch. But these dead corals aren't entirely useless because we can use them to craft different kinds of corals, dead brain coral bricks. And they look like this and still have a little bit of color. That's because of a mod called Reef Decor, which adds a bunch of new coral blocks, and it's gonna give us a bunch of color variants for our house. So I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day mining corals. On day 13, I had several stacks of coral, and I crafted them into a bunch of these new modded blocks, while a drown was making loud noises outside of my ship. Be quiet! Now we have all of these resources, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to build a pretty house. We need something that has stairs and slabs, and something that can be found underwater. And I'm thinking prismarine. That kind of prismarine that's found on scary structures. It's called prismarine bricks. I totally knew that. I didn't. And this build only has a couple of them, which won't be enough because I need lots of them. I stole all of the stuff from the walls and I have over a stack, but I think I want to use it for the roof, so I'm gonna need at least 3 or 4 stacks, which means I need to find another structure, but luckily there are tons of structures nearby. This building here looks promising. I can see some prismarine. I think they are monsters. I don't care that there's a spawner. I need resources. A wolf spawn egg again? Why is that such a weird loot choice? We're getting a bunch of free prismarine, and we can also open all of these loot chests, and we have so many resources now. These are all of the stupid drowned! These are all of the house resources I have so far, and I think we definitely need some different colors too. We cannot really use wood because that's not really an underwater block, and we also don't have any saplings. But I came across this underwater geode, and it has a bunch of calcite, so I think we can use that. Hello there, anybody home? Yay, it's a zombie! And it's a mine shaft! Ew, how about no thank you? I'm just gonna be in their walls and pretend I don't exist. I like being in people's walls. I took 3 stacks of calcite, and thanks to the more stairs and slabs mod, we can actually make calcite stairs and calcite slabs. I think that's a good amount of resources, so now we just need to find a place where we can set up the house after we kill this trident drowned. Go away! On day 16 it was time to get to work, and I chose the area up here overlooking the ocean. So I'm gonna put down my chest with all of the resources because we gotta get rid of all of the stuff that's growing here, and we can actually pick it up and maybe decorate with it later. But we also have to get rid of a bunch of these corals. I freed up all of this space here, so I think we are ready to start building. I'm gonna take all of the coral blocks first and start working on a layout. And the walls are going to be made of these light pink pastel blocks, and they have this really cool texture. On day 17 most of the walls were in place and looking really cool. We also have all of these light blue coral blocks, which are gonna look really well next to the pink. This looks so silly right now, so we gotta decorate it more. I'm gonna use all of the calcite blocks to create an outline of an A-frame roof, and I've only done one side, and a trident drown decided to disturb my peaceful building. Be gone, you stupid creature. I hate drown and their noises. But now let's keep going without any more incidents. The house is looking much better already. Plus we still have to add in the roof, so it's gonna look even better once we have all of the prismarine in place. This cute tiny seahorse came over to check out my new build because I've actually made some more changes to it. Because next to filling in the roof, I also added a giant dome-shaped tower on top of it and some little windows to the side. But I also realized I don't have any glass for the windows, and there's a drown coming over to disturb me again. Go away, Mr. But I got a lot of sand from mining out my base area, so all we gotta do is smelt it in the furnace. And while it's melting, I'm gonna keep decorating the house. I added some calcite trims for the windows, and we can also do something cool on the roof here because we can do one of those magical swirls. I love to do them on fantasy houses because it looks so cute. The magical mermaid house. I also brought a bunch of bones that I got from loot chests, and we can turn those into bone meal and then into white dye. So now the windows are gonna look even prettier. Now the basic structure of the house is done and it's looking really cute. But I also want to decorate it with all of the ocean things because we have some corals that can be picked up without silk touch, which are actually no corals, they're red algae. Stop gurgling in my ear. Get wrecked. Awkward. We also got this cool thing here. This is like a seashell. And then this giant thing here. We also got these sea urchins here. And these little things, which are more anemones. I love the word anemones. Anemones. Anemone! Oh, and look, there are more diamonds just casually waiting for me. I also found these shells, which are opening and closing, and they have a pearl inside. I took it! Grows inside a pearl oyster. Maybe we can take those oysters with us, and then we can farm those pearls in our home. There's a trident drown guarding my house. We need to stop these drown from spawning in my base. And I might just have the solution for that, because we have a bunch of sea pickles, which are a light source, especially in pairs of 4. We can also add them inside of the house instead of lanterns. And we can take all of the anemones we found and display them outside the house. They actually look so creepy. They remind me of Stranger Things. I'm not scared. I basically spammed a bunch of cute decor, and now we have those little sea stars and lots of plants. And we also have this coral which makes loud bubbly noises, which is kind of cute. I also put some seagrass on the roof so it's a little bit overgrown. But I also want to change the floor in here, so I've begun to dig it out. And I've got a bunch of dead corals left, which we can use in combination with cobble and andesite to create a little stony floor. Now the floor inside my house is done and looking really nice. But I think the entrance is way too open because the drowned can just walk right in. So I basically built a calcite archway. He can still walk in! But my shells have been making pearls, and they can be used to craft something, like a pearl block. And 2 of them could make a pearl fence gate. This is so funny, we cannot waterlog it. It's an underwater thing! Wait, now my house looks like it has a face! Look, these are the eyes, and this is a screaming, creepy mouth. I spent the rest of the day moving the resources from the ship over to my new house, and created a huge mess. And look, the drowned cannot come into the house! Also guys, I just killed a drowned, and it dropped a trident, and I didn't record it from my craft. But now we can do this! I also added a shelf here full of all the weird things that I found in the ocean, like those shells or the anemones. I love saying anemone. And this drowned loves saying la 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 la. On day 23, it was time to quit messing around because I still don't have a good food source, so I'm gonna go hunting for some fish and not get distracted. And I have a map of the world, and all that we have around us is a bunch of little islands. And I think to find fish that we can eat, we need to go to more colder biomes. We got some fish here, but I think they're modded fish, so they're not gonna drop any food, or are they? Raw pilot fish. Can we do something with them? It looks like we can actually cook them, so let's get a bunch of them. I'm also gonna pick up this aquamarine on the way because there's some clusters here and there. And then I could trade with the merpeople. Ah, guys, there's a fish and it's coming for me! What is that? What is that? What are you? Are you a shark? You're not a shark. You're too tiny. Ugh, he's dead. It was a barracuda. He was so aggressive and I didn't even do anything except exist. It's good to know that there are super aggressive fish in the ocean, so I don't just need to look out for drowned, but also for these guys. It's another one. Come here, stinky fish. And there's a ship up there. This one looks way bigger than the pillager ship. We have full diamond armor, so we can take them, right? Har. Har har. And there's a bed here. I'm gonna set my spawn just in case I die. I took care of them one by one, but I could still hear a bunch of zombies and pillagers making loud noises right above me. But I didn't let that scare me, so I looted this level first, which actually had a diamond, and a zombie spawner, which I broke. Teehee. But now I actually have to take care of the creatures above me, so I'm just gonna dig into the wall and hope they don't kill me. Oh my gosh, dude, so many pillagers. I thought they would get me, but they're actually so easy to defeat because they're shooting each other most of the time. Dude, not the creepers. Oh yeah. Ooh, free loot. Hello. Whoa. And there's a creeper. I see you, creeper. I'm running towards the creeper. Creeper in the ocean. Haha, loser. That scared me so bad. Okay, so I have an idea. How about we leave? I don't want to die to creepers. Also, look, why are there arrows on me shaking around? This is so funny. Huh. What the heck, guys? What the heck? That looks so creepy. Dude, it just ate all of the fish. I'm not your dinner. Okay, it doesn't attack me like that barracuda. Ah! Hello? Hi. It's friendly. Maybe. I also just saw this giant fish, which could be a tuna. So that could be my dinner. Come here, fishy, fishy, fishy. It's so fast. I can't get it. I can get it. I can get it. Ah! Yes. Ah! Oh gosh, no! Ah! No! Dude, I'm impaled! Guys, I'm impaled! I hate my life. I'm gonna lose all my stuff. I'm gonna lose all my stuff! I'm at spawn. Yay. I got impaled by a sailfish. That's so creepy. Sailfish just became my #1 enemy, but there's still hope for me to recover my stuff, so I just have to craft a boat. Because I think it also took my mermaid necklace. Yes, it did. How dare it take my mermaid powers from me? That's so mean. We can do it. We're gonna find the place again. It was somewhere past this ship. Wait, that's my stuff. Is the sailfish still here? I'm so scared, guys. Oh my gosh, give me my stuff back. Mermaid powers. We're so back. There it is. The sailfish. You're mean. You made me go back all the way from spawn. I'm now officially scared of the ocean, so let's get back to my base. Guys, there's a shark next to my house. Should I try and say hello? Maybe it's friendly. Yay, it doesn't want to kill me. I think I'm just gonna let it be, but it's super scary to just have this guy at my base. But even though we died, we still managed to get a bunch of good food. Now we can cook all of this fish, and cooked fish is gonna be a really good food source. I also cooked the barracuda, which is so funny because it tried to kill me and now I'm eating it. Awkward. The shark is literally circling my house, which is terrifying. So I think I'm just gonna get out of here until he despawns, because I've got some more aquamarine so I can try trading with the merpeople. I think I found a different kind of village, but there are a bunch of these guys here. This guy here also accepts aquamarine, and we get a hunter casket. We get a saddle. I don't need a saddle, I live underwater. Wow, we got rotten flesh. I used up all of my aquamarine and I got all of these things, which aren't super important resources, but there are many different kinds of these merpeople, so they could all trade a variety of different stuff. I spent all of day 26 searching the ocean floor for aquamarine, but it was super rare, so I was having a hard time finding any. I did find a cave full of diamonds though. And on day 27 I had 6 aquamarine, which isn't a lot, but I also found some loot chests and got a bunch of good food. I want to see what other kinds of merpeople traders we have, and I found this guy here hiding in the walls. He's a Giga Chad. We get a blacksmith casket, a depth nugget. This can be crafted into an ingot, and it can be used to upgrade golden tools. But the best thing is we can get cool mermaid armor, which has dolphin's grace, so we could swim even faster and also look cool. So we gotta use all of the aquamarine that we can find to trade with the blacksmith mer person. So the aquamarine hunt continued, but this time I went out of the coral reef, so I had a much easier time spotting them. And I have 17 aquamarine already, and I see one behind me. Make that 18. Now we just need to give all of this stuff to Mr. Giga Chad here. Let's see if we always get those nuggets. No, we don't. Come on. We got some more nuggets, but it looks like they're really rare. But I think now we have enough to make an ingot. We just need to combine it with aquamarine, and then we have the ingot. So now we just need to craft a smithing table, and then hopefully we can upgrade it. Oh my gosh. Let's put it on. Oh yeah. It looks so cool. I have little fish ears. I love this, but now my mermaid tail doesn't fit my helmet. So I think now's the right time to upgrade it, because we can't only change its color, but we can also change how it's looking. These are all of the upgrades for the mermaid tail, and I want to get this upgrade, a deep sea crystal. I just have to get some ink sacs from a glow squid, and I still have some sea crystals from crafting the necklace. So now we combine those for the deep sea crystal, and I think we just combine it with the necklace, and now the tail has a different shape and it looks really cool. But I also want it to be a different color. I want to go for something more ocean colored and less salmon colored. So let's try and find some cactus, because I want to make cyan dye. It's so weird just being on land and being able to walk. It just doesn't feel right. I need to go back into the ocean. Then we smelt the cactus. We can make some blue dye from lapis, and now we can get cyan dye. The cyan looks cool, but we can do something even better. We can create another tail modifier using some dye and another sea crystal. Now we have a tail gradient, and I want to get a pink gradient, and I still have some alliums from the first days, the ones I still spent on land. So now we have a magenta gradient, and we can add a little bit of white to it, and now it looks like this. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, look at this. This looks so cool. We have a beautiful gradient going from cyan to pink. I love it so much. Customizing my mermaid tail was so fun, but we gotta get back to work and get stronger so we no longer get impaled by sailfish. And the way we can get stronger is if we get enchants. The question is, how does a mermaid get an enchanting table so far away from any land that isn't the desert? So I'm gonna start swimming in one direction until I either find a forest where I can kill a bunch of cows, or a structure I can loot because maybe they have leather and paper. I love that playing as a mermaid gives you so many reasons to explore the ocean, not just to find aquamarine or other useful resources on the ocean floor, but you actually have to travel a long distance or do dangerous stuff to obtain stuff that is usually very easily found on land. I found a sunken ship, and those usually have paper. Well, they have one paper and some armor trims, but they also have moss and more food. And more paper! Let's go! I kept finding little structures that didn't seem dangerous, but they had some pretty good loot. Yay, I found a book! That's actually really useful for the enchanting table! Stupid drowned! I also found another drowned outpost, and maybe this time I can loot it. Please have an enchanting table, just ready for me. No, they have an enchanted golden apple. That was something enchanted, alright. Ugh, they also have a shark. Let's see if we have anything good in here. Ooh, well, would you look at that? I don't have silk touch, but I'm still getting the books. I also found this really cool mermaid. Ah, hello. What do you want? Ow! There's literally an evil tiny baby mermaid chasing me, and it wants to kill me. Ow! On day 32 I found more loot from my enchanting table, but I also found land again so I can grab some sugarcane, and we can go hunting for cows. I also found this river crocodile again, and he trades any fish. And we get a river casket, which has clay. Yay! And I finally found some cows. I found so much sugarcane on the shore, so I think we have enough paper for the bookshelves. But we also need wood to craft the bookshelves, so I'm gonna chop down a bunch of trees while I'm here. There are literally no trees anywhere close to my ocean home, so good that I found this forest. I found a plains biome, which is perfect for spotting cows, and it had a bunch of them, so I grabbed as much leather as I could. I managed to get a bunch of leather, so let's try and craft the books. And with those books we can craft 10 bookshelves, so we only need 5 more. And I still have a bunch of leather, and I think we can actually do it. Yes, exactly 5! We did it! And there's a giant shark in the water, so I'm not going there yet because we first need to make the enchanting table. So we need more leather, and I think there's lava trying to start a forest fire, so let's make it all go away. And I think we're gonna need at least 4 obsidian for this. And I think we can craft it already because I found diamonds in a loot chest on my way here. We got it. So we just need to make it home again safely and not get impaled by sailfish or bitten by sharks. But I think if we just mind our own business and don't provoke any fish, we're gonna be fine. Are you actually kidding me? There's a library and it has 1 billion bookshelves and it also has a drowned. If I had just found this earlier, I wouldn't have had to go on land. That is so funny. But I do need 30 levels, so I'm just gonna farm XP on these drowned spawners. I spent the whole day 35 slaying drowned in that underwater library, which made me wonder how an underwater library is even possible because books would get wet. But I also discovered that on some rare occasion, drowned also drop aquamarine. So I wasn't just farming XP, but also those items, so I could later trade them with the merpeople. On day 36, I was almost at 25 levels, so I was determined to keep going until I had 30, even though the noises were getting on my nerves already. On day 37, I was only 2 levels away from level 30, but the trident drown had broken my shield, so now I need to be extra careful and just swim around them so they can't hit me. And level 30. We might not get good enchants straight away, so we could get more than 30 levels, but we still have a long way home ahead of us, and I cannot listen to any more noises. So we just keep swimming, just keep swimming. On my way home, I found a creepy ocean monument and another of those evil mermaids. There's another of those. Take fish. Take fish. I tamed her. Is she going to follow me home? That would be so cute if I just had a friend. On day 38, I was traveling home with my new mermaid bestie, and she's actually an abyssal mermaid, which is a predator found in deep oceans. So I have a new friend who likes to kill things. They also have some peaceful sisters, the tropical mermaids, which we've actually seen roaming around our base. Yep, they definitely attack everything. Now that was terrifying. That's not even my mermaid, that is my mermaid, which means that one is going to kill me. On day 39, I finally made it back to my house, and my abyssal friend was still following. I hope the tropical mermaids won't mind that I'm bringing a super hostile, toxic mermaid to this place. But we can't worry about that right now because we have an enchanting table to build, which is the perfect excuse for me to add another building to my base. We can put it right next to the house, so we need to get rid of all of these corals first. On day 40, I grabbed some sand from the island above me, so I could cover up some ugly stony holes and terraform the area. Now we have this little flat space, so we just need to gather some resources. I want to use more of those dead corals that I can craft into different blocks. So now we also have some purple, and I also got some pink and blue. Now we just need a white block to complement that, and we do have calcite, but I just had a much better ocean idea, because those pearls here can create blocks, like this fence gate, which cannot be waterlogged. But these blocks are so beautiful and shiny, and I want to use them. And my pearl oysters are working really fast, but I'm still gonna go looking for more in the wild, because I have a feeling pearl blocks are gonna be my new favorite building block in this world. I found 5 more oysters, so we can set up a new shelf for them and display them up here. Now we have our own oyster farm in our house, and they're making pearls super fast. On day 42, I was having a cozy day in my house while peacefully farming oysters, and I also noticed that my abyssal mermaid actually sings a siren song, which is so cute. On day 43, I had over 2 stacks of pearls, which we can craft into 40 pearl blocks. We can use those blocks to craft stairs, slabs, and even walls and fences. All of this isn't enough for a build though, so I gotta keep farming pearls. But a lot of oyster farming later, and I finally have enough pearls. I hope. We can make a little platform out of pearl blocks. Then we can add the enchanting table here and the bookshelves around it. And to save up on pearl blocks, I can just remove the ones under the bookshelves, and no one will know they were there. I also crafted these pearl blocks with ornaments, which look really cool, so we can have those around the enchanting table. This is going to be the platform for the enchanting table, but we need to add something on top of it, like a cute gazebo roof, so we can add some walls and fences on top, and then create a roof trim using slabs. This looks so cool and gives magic underwater structure vibes. And to make this look even cooler, we can use the corals to fill in the roof, but it's not going to be all the same color. We can have a gradient going from blue to purple and then to pink. I also added some little spires on top, and this is my finished magic temple. Let's light it up using a bunch of sea pickles. Plus we can make it seem more overgrown by adding a bunch of seagrass and corals, or algae. I also want to have a path leading to this from my house, so let's use the stone and coral blocks to extend the road. Of course, I also had to decorate the road with a bunch of seashells and anemones. And these drowned really love my new enchanting house, or they want to kill me. I never know what really means. Get wrecked. I love decorating everything, and now the base looks so cool already, which means we can finally do some enchanting. And maybe I get lucky and get silk touch first try, so I can actually mine all of those normal vanilla corals and also the coral blocks and build even more colorful houses. Let's craft a new diamond pickaxe because this one is almost broken. Please, enchanting table, give me silk touch. Fortune? Are you kidding me? That's the opposite of silk touch. Now that is unfortunate. So instead of enchanting the pickaxe, I'm going to enchant my beautiful mermaid helmet, and it has unbreaking, protection, and respiration. I don't need respiration, I can breathe underwater. Now we're even more protected against the monsters. Now the enchanting table shows efficiency 4 for the pickaxe, so it could have silk touch. So I'm gonna go and annoy some more drowned until I have 30 30 levels again. But I'm also wondering if trading aquamarine with the merpeople will actually give me XP too, because trading with villagers gives you XP. And I picked up 50 aquamarine on my long adventure. Hello, Mr. Giga Chad. Give me more stuff. 4 more nuggets. But it also doesn't give me XP, which sucks. I have 11 nuggets, which means we can make 2 ingots. And then we make the chestplate, which apparently is made in the crafting table and not on the smithing table. Oh yeah, now I look so cool. Look at this outfit. And I'm gonna save this nugget for later because we could be crafting more armor or we can craft some tools. But first I need to finish my task of getting Silk Touch. So those drowned are in for a rough day. I got 30 levels again, so let's see if we can get lucky or if we just get efficiency. Seriously? How I predicted this. I hate how I predicted this. So back to drown slaying we go. I made a new diamond sword and a shield and I want to try to find one of those libraries again where they have a bunch of drown spawners because farming XP there went super fast. And the library was somewhere over here, so maybe we can find it or whatever this is or that. There are so many dangerous structures. I don't even want to know what lurks in the shadows of the ocean. I still haven't found the library, but I found this beautiful mermaid. Look at her. Look at her colors. That's so cool. Dude, she giggled. That was so funny. And this creepy building looks like the library. And it's not the one I visited before because there's still all of the loot here. And I wish they had Silk Touch books. Now let the drown slaying begin. On day 49, I had 31 levels already, but I kept going just in case the enchanting table wasn't going to be kind again. And on day 50, I made it to level 33. So now we can swim back home, which luckily isn't super far away. Let's hope the table is nice to us this time. Dang it. Okay, last try. Dang it! Now it's fortune again. It's very frustrating to not get Silk Touch after grinding XP for so long, but instead of giving up, I came up with a strategy that will guarantee that I get Silk Touch. This is my valuables chest, and I found 28 emeralds on my travels. I also still have some leftover books, so we can craft a bookshelf, which can be turned into a lectern. I'm also going to take my aquamarine, and we can do some more trading with the merman. We just need to get 1 more nugget, and we got it! Thank you, Mr. Merman, you're a Giga Chad. He's creepy. We already have 3 nuggets in our storage, so now we can craft another ingot, which means we have 2. Then we can craft golden leggings and upgrade those. But I also need the boots because the full set bonus is Dolphin's Grace, which means we're gonna swim super fast. But I need more gold to craft that, so I'm quickly gonna go down to the caves. And the tropical mermaids are here, which is so cute. Once I have my Silk Touch, I'm gonna do something really cool with them. Ooh, efficiency. Okay, I'm not mad about the efficiency. Now we can make the boots and we can upgrade them. Oh yeah, Dolphin's Grace, here we go. Oh yeah, look at me, I'm swimming so fast. This is so good. The reason it was so important to me to get Dolphin's Grace is because we have to go and find a village to trade with a villager for Silk Touch, and the villages are super far away. I think I've seen one all the way down there, which means we have to swim through the entire ocean to find it. I'm just gonna keep swimming and not get distracted, and we're going so fast, so we're going to arrive there in no time at all. And I actually made it in less than a day because the village is somewhere over there. Yes, I see it. Now we just need to get a villager to go into their house so we can just ring the bell. Yeah, run you guys, run. And then we block the door. Hello, you're going to be my new Silk Touch man. We just have to keep rolling the trades until he trades it. On day 52, I locked the villager in a tiny space and kept rolling trades. It took longer to get Silk Touch from this villager than it did to actually swim to this village. But now we have it and we can buy 2 books. And now we're out of emeralds. Now we can set this villager free again. Please don't die to zombies. And we can jump back into the ocean and speed swim home. I love Dolphin's Grace and I haven't even seen a single dolphin in this ocean yet. Maybe the merpeople killed them all to make this armor. Oh my gosh, I just found my early game chest boat. That's so nostalgic. But no distractions. Let's go back home. I swam so fast that I made it home by nightfall. I still got an anvil from a loot chest. So now we combine this pickaxe with a Silk Touch book, and now we have a Silk Touch pick, which means we can pick up all of these corals and the coral blocks, and they're not going to be dead corals. And that's actually another reason why we need Silk Touch. And it has something to do with these kinds of mermaids. Well, actually the friendly kind of those mermaids, because we can get these really cool mermaid tools from them. And we need to use those coral fans to craft them. But first we actually need to obtain the resources for them, because they need pearls to craft, but they're not the same pearls as found in the oysters, because those are 2 very different mods. So we have 2 kinds of pearls in the game. So these ones here are only used to craft beautiful blocks, and to get the other pearls we need to feed these nice mermaids raw fish. Oh, she's so cute. Take the fish. Are you going to do it? She's doing it. Oh my gosh, she's doing it. She's digging. Pearl, we got it. Let's feed her more fish and get her to do that a couple more times. Look, she's digging again. Ooh, an amethyst crystal. Diggy diggy hole. We got a prismarine. Yay, another pearl. We got 3 pearls already. Then we need copper ingots, which I have tons of because Drown dropped them. We also need to Silk Touch mine these bubble corals. But then comes the hard part because we need prismarine shards. And there's only 1 creature that drops them, the guardians. I don't think I'm strong enough to fight the elder guardians, but we can just take out a couple guardians guardians that are roaming outside the monument. Hello, Mr. Fish. Give me those blocks. Wait, he didn't drop that. He dropped something else. A guardian. He dropped himself. Give me the prismarine. He dropped himself again. Now I have mining fatigue. Yes, they dropped them. They dropped them again. So now we have enough. So goodbye, stinky fish. Now we can craft this cool new sword, the Depth Slasher. Oh yeah, look at this cool sword. It's giant. I love it. It deals 20 extra damage when wet, which means it's super strong underwater. Then we can also craft the Deep Digger, which I think is a pickaxe. And it also looks really cool. Oh my gosh, I'm so fast. It grants haste effect when wet. We gotta try out this new pickaxe. So let's go into this hole here and let's mine. Oh yeah, look at me. I'm so fast. Imagine how fast this pickaxe is gonna be if it gets enchanted. I don't want to go in another XP grinding session though, because first I need to do something for my beautiful mermaids. Dude, the drowned are a 2-hit kill with the sword. I want to build a home for my abyssal mermaid friend, and I also want to tame these guys and also build them a house. So let's gather a bunch of resources, because this time I'm gonna build with the beautiful, colorful coral blocks. On day 55, I spent the whole day mining corals in all of the different colors, while trying out my new sword on the unsuspecting drowned. On day 56, I had an inventory full of corals, which we can also craft into these beautiful other variants. But I also want to use the pearl blocks again, but I did find some more oysters, so hopefully it's gonna go a little bit faster. On day 57, I had almost 5 stacks, which makes a whole stack of pearl blocks. Let's go. The first house is going to use the pink coral blocks. Now we just need to figure out where this new building is going to go, because we have this area here, and then maybe we could go down a couple layers and build it here, which means there's a lot of terraforming in my future, or more like in my present. The corals are gone, but now we have this messy surface here. So first let's get rid of a bunch of sand layers. Then we can tear out all of the stone, which goes really fast thanks to my haste pickaxe. We also gotta make sure that we don't lose the resources that we mined out, because they're all floating to the top, and look, it's full of them here. But I can just speed swim through them and collect them all. On day 59, the ground was still messy but super flat, and I can worry about making it pretty after the houses are in place and after this drowned is dead. I started with the walls of the first house, which is going to be made of the light pink blocks that I used on my starter house as well. Then we can add a roof trim using pearl blocks, and lastly fill in the roof with pink corals. Now this is what the house looks like, and I think it's really cute, but we can also take the pink and magenta corals and place them on the roof. I also placed them on the side of the walls, and I really like that. We also gotta decorate the inside and make it feel super cozy for the mermaid. I'm going to add in a blue coral floor. Then we can use calcite and prismarine stairs and slabs to create little shelves and tables. Let's display a bunch of cool ocean things like seashells and anemones, because I always like to imagine that mermaids collect these things. I also put some starfish on the floor, and now we have a really cute little home. Now we just need to move a mermaid in here, which means we can tame one of those nice mermaids. And to tame them, we need to give them cooked fish. And I found this super cute one up here. Take the fish. Yay! Are we friends now? Yay! Staying, wandering, and following. We can actually give her commands. Yay! And she's in, and we close the door. And now she has her own beautiful little home. And I also want to give her a name, and I think I'm gonna name her Emma. And I also added a little sign with her name in the house. One house is done, but there are several more to go. So let's get back to the usual pearl collecting. But we also need more corals, and this time I'm going after all of the blue ones. On day 62, I had all of the resources ready, so we can build the second house right next to the first one. This time the walls are going to be light blue, but instead of it just being one block like on this one, we have a jumble of different blocks. Then we do the same roof trim as on the first house, but we fill it with these vibrant blue blocks. On day 63, the building was done, and I also added some more of these little corals on the roof. Then I went on a little resource gathering adventure, because I also want to decorate the interior, but I also need to think about decorating the outside of the house, so we need a bunch of anemones and shells and other cool things. I also came across this weird temple again that is full of dark prismarine, and I think I'm just gonna steal it off of the walls, because I want to use it in another house. On day 64, I had 2 stacks of dark prismarine and an inventory full of cool ocean decor, and also found this really pretty fish. It just gave me poison, so it's really pretty but deadly, so let's leave it be. Then we can pick up some more calcite in the geode, and now that we have silk touch, we can also collect the crystals off of the walls. And with all of those blocks, the interior of this house is going to look super cool. And now when you walk in here, this looks like a little shop of exotic things. Now we just need another mermaid to come live there, and there's one up here, and she's so beautiful. Look at her. The best part is that this mermaid actually matches the house, because she's blue too. And her name is going to be Cleo. So we have Emma over there and Cleo here. Now we just need a third one. So on day 65, I gathered all of the resources for the next house. And this time we're using all of the red corals. I crafted all of the resources, but then I realized there is no more space to build this house here. But I think I have a cool idea, because we could just continue our little mermaid village up here. I think I have a vision of a cute little mermaid neighborhood with houses on different levels of the cliff. So now we just need to bring that vision to life. I think we can definitely fit 2 more builds in here. One house for another variant of the tropical tropical mermaids, and then of course a house for the abyssal mermaid because that one is still squatting in my house and singing her siren song, which is very cute, but she definitely deserves her own space. Making space for the houses was a lot of work though because I had to dig up half of the mountain, but thanks to my efficiency pick it went super fast. On day 68 I was finally done with the digging and we dug out so much. First let's build the last house for the tropical mermaids using all of the red blocks, and I'm trying to give every house a different shape, so this one is gonna look very different from the other two. On day 69, nice. I decorated the roof with red corals and the little fire cottage is done. Then I did the interior, adding a little blue floor and more shelves full of cute ocean decor. Now we just have to tame another mermaid and I want to find a different variant, and I think this is the first one who helped us dig up all of the pearls, so let's tame her, and her name is going to be Ricky and she can stay in this beautiful red cottage. Maybe she likes fire. Now we have houses for Cleo, Emma and Ricky. Let me know in the comments if you recognize the mermaid series those names are from. Now we just have to build a house for the abyssal mermaid who's just been staring at the wall and singing, and it was for her that I gathered the dark prismarine earlier. The abyssal mermaid likes the abyss, so I'm gonna work with a bunch of blue blocks. She also has blue hair, and this is my abyssal house. It looks much gloomier than the rest of them because I didn't use the pearl blocks, but I still tried to make it colorful. For the interior I decided to use dark prismarine as furniture, so we have a little couch on this open window so she can look out, but first she actually needs to come in. She also has another shelf full of collections and she loves sea urchins, but she also appreciates art, or maybe she painted them herself, and her name is going to be Charlotte, and I think she's just a deeply misunderstood creature. She also hasn't killed anything since I tamed her, so that's progress. I love all of the mermaid houses, but I don't like the area underneath it. I want to turn everything into sand, so first we're gonna get rid of all of this stone. On day 72 I decided we also need to link up the path from my house over to the mermaid village, so I had to extend the cliff to make a walkway around the enchanting gazebo. I basically just made an entire cliff, and these drowned love my new cliff. So now we just need to put the roads in place using cobblestone and dead coral, which is exactly what I did on day 73. The road for the first two houses is done, and I also added a railing here so you don't fall off, even though we can literally swim, so there's no fall damage in this ocean. Now we need a way up there, and I thought to make a little coral staircase. Even though we technically don't need to walk up a staircase because we can swim everywhere, it's still a nice touch to connect the houses together. On day 74 I finished the roads on the upper levels, and now everything looks really nice. Then I decorated all of it by adding a variety of ocean plants. Now we can take the path from my house, we can go up to the enchanting gazebo, or we can go down here on this creepy cliff, which is decorated with a bunch of starfish. Then we go up this path and it's full of beautiful plants and decor. Then we go up the staircase and we have a bunch of those sea urchins here because those are Charlotte's favorite. And then we go over to Ricky's house and it's full of fire stuff. And now the mermaid village is completed and looking so beautiful, and all of the mermaids that helped us are safe in their houses. I'm also very close to level 30 again, so I think we have another drowned killing spree incoming. We also have a wandering trader who just spawned here. That's the most random thing ever. I'm gonna kill his llamas and get the leads. Haha. Goodbye. I want to enchant my new mermaid tools because there are some dangerous structures in this ocean that I still haven't fought, including the ocean monument. So back to the drowned library we go. I slayed the drowned until I was at level 30, which actually happened after killing 3 drowned. And now let's enchant the sword. We get unbreaking and smite, which is really good. Smite is really strong against undead mobs, which means the drowned. Then I swam back to the library, and now I can kill them super fast. But I also noticed right next to the library is the ocean monument, and I think these guardians out here give a lot more XP than drowned, so we just have to slay them. And they're also just a 2-hit kill. So I'm gonna fight those guys to practice to go into the ocean monument while also getting more levels. Let's enchant the trident that we got from the drowned. We got unbreaking and impaling, that's perfect. And I'm also gonna enchant another armor piece so I'm more protected against the guardians. It's just unbreaking. I also did a couple level 2 enchants, so now we have fully enchanted armor even if the enchants aren't super good. But the most important thing is we have an enchanted sword and the trident, so those elder guardians better watch out. And I don't just want to defeat the ocean monument, there's also a giant modded structure that I also want to defeat. But before I do anything, I need to get some milk because of the mining fatigue. So I gotta find some land that has cows. I found an ocean monument before I found a cow, but there's some land here. I searched the entire island and I only found sheep, but I found another island over there with an acacia village. I'm totally getting distracted, but I need to check that out because maybe they have cows. On day 78, I water bucket climbed all the way up the hill, and a cute little village and a cow waited for me at the top. So now we can milk it. And now let's show that ocean monument who's boss. I'm going to slay all of the Elder Guardians. There it is, the ocean monument. This time we're going to swim right inside. Here, fishy, fishy. It jump scares me every single time. The ocean monument is a maze, and I didn't want to waste my milk just yet because I only brought 2. I think I found the Elder Guardian. Hello. Oh no. Here, Mr. Fish. Get wrecked. How did he just die so fast? There's no way he just died so fast. That is so funny. And he dropped a wet sponge. My ocean gear is so OP. Now we need to find the other two. I think I hear an Elder Guardian through the wall, so I'm just gonna drink milk and then dig through it. Oh my gosh. I dug one hole. I made it. I want to try out my trident too. Get wrecked. Kill it. And we got an armor trim from him. And the third guy is over here. Get wrecked. Mr. Fish. Get wrecked. That was actually so easy and so fun to take them out. On day 79, I went back to the Acacia Village on the hill to grab some more milk, and this time I brought more buckets. But there's also something else that I need to craft in my house. I need to make this little knife. Hee hee, I have a knife. Y'all better subscribe. This knife belongs to the Farmer's Delight mod, and also added the Ocean's Delight mod, which means you can cook and eat all the underwater creatures, like these guardians, but you can also cook and eat Elder Guardians. So I'm gonna go to the scary modded structure that has an Elder Guardian, and when you kill it with this knife, it's gonna drop its meat. Or fish. I don't even know. I've spotted the structure on the map right here, and there's also another village. But since the Ocean Monument was so easy, I'm not worried about this one. And it looks super scary. It's way bigger than the Ocean Monument. Hello, drowned. Get wrecked. Oh, it has an Elder Guardian spawner. Let's use the knife. Drop your meat. I want to eat you. I'm gonna die, guys. I'm gonna die. This is actually so dangerous. I'm gonna go and set my spawn right here. Come here, you fish. Yes! It dropped it. A slab of Elder Guardian. And I want to cook with that later, which is going to be so funny. And look at the ceiling. There's a diamond block. Ah! There are 2 Elder Guardians! Oh my gosh, no! Ooh, there's loot in here. I'm gonna eat the golden apple. The things we do to eat an Elder Guardian. I'm gonna eat you for dinner later. It dropped it again. Ah, and 2 more spawned! Let's quickly try and get the loot before they see us, because there are 3 now. Don't see me, Mr. Fish. Ooh, diamond. And let's see what's in here. Ooh, a trident! Yay, we got another one! We got 2 slabs of Elder Guardian, which we can prepare to slices of Elder Guardian. And we can cook a bunch of stuff with that. Oh my gosh, what just spawned in front of this dungeon? Look at this giant shark. He's so cute. I love that the sharks aren't hostile in this world. They're all my friends. After admiring the beautiful whale shark, I went back home to my base because I was so done fighting guardians. On day 80, I looked at all of the Ocean's Delight recipes and saw there are so many cool variants. Not just for Elder Guardians, but also squid and other fish. And since me and my mermaid friends cannot go hungry in the ocean, I think it would be perfect to open up my own ocean restaurant. The restaurant is gonna sit right up here behind my house and the enchanting gazebo, and it's going to be a really big mermaid castle. So let's get to work and do some terraforming. We just need to get rid of the corals, and we also have a giant cave that's here. After removing the corals, I got to work on flattening the terrain and lowering it a couple levels down, otherwise the castle would stick out of the ocean. Then I spotted a giant fish swimming around here, and it looked like the sailfish, but without the pointy tip, so this could actually be a tuna. So we could eat it in the restaurant. It's on the menu now. On day 81, I continued my terraforming project, but I also remembered to collect all of the resources that had floated to the surface. I finished digging, but now I have to cover up this entire cave back here. It's actually so funny how little caving I had to do in this world, because I got all of the diamonds on like day 10, and I found the rest of the ores and loot chests of all the underwater structures. Now the cave is covered up, leaving all of this space to build the castle. This is going to be a really big build, so we're going to need a bunch of resources. The first resource we're gonna need is more pearls, but I'm gonna try to not use that many in the build, otherwise we're gonna be here for 300 days because it takes so long to get these pearl blocks. And after spending a whole day cooped up in my house farming pearls, I noticed an axolotl Giga Chat man was spying through my windows, which was super creepy, so I decided to run away quickly over to this geode in the wall, but there was a creeper in there, so I left again. I found another geode that looks less dangerous, and of course now there are 2 creepers inside. Are you kidding me? But they're not hiding in the wall, so I can quickly take care of them. How are they a one-hit kill? Dude, this sword is so good. And now I can peacefully take all of the calcite out of the walls. On day 84, I met another creeper in the walls, which I quickly unalived, but I also dismantled the entire geode and took a bunch of calcite. I set up a resource chest for the castle, and right now we have all of the white blocks, so it's time for things to get colorful. I want the castle to match my starter house, so we need more of those light pink wall blocks. And if these are going to be the entire wall blocks, we need maybe like 6 stacks of them. There's a trident guy throwing stuff at me, and I'm just completely ignoring him. I have a castle to build! Go away, little child. I mined the whole day 85, but at the end of the day, I had over 6 stacks. And the next blocks we need are prismarine and dark prismarine. I think I'm just gonna steal the dark prismarine off of this little lighthouse structure, because nothing spawns here so I can just have a chill time mining. Or so I thought, because the trident guy was back. The last block on our list is normal prismarine, and I think I can just go to the ocean monument for that. Or I can just go to this structure here, and that's actually the place I mined prismarine for my starter house. I also just found out my Reef Decor mod also gives me different kinds of prismarine options, and I definitely need that smooth prismarine. So now we do need to go back to the ocean monument that we defeated, because that might be the only structure that actually has lots of those normal prismarine blocks. I think I found the monument that I defeated again, so now we just have to swim inside, and I would just steal all of the blocks out of the floor. I can kill a couple more guardians too, because I can cook them into a soup later. I got several stacks, so let's run away again. Bye, little fishies. I'm also going the wrong way. Bye again, little fishies. I crafted up all of the resources, so now our resource chest is full of things, and that means we can start building the castle. And I started by laying out the foundation of the building. So first we're gonna have a square out of calcite. That's gonna be 3 blocks high, but in the front here I want the walls to be the pearl blocks, but I didn't want to have them all the way around because they're so expensive to craft. And now we need to connect these prismarine pillars together, and maybe on top we can have this colorful coral prismarine block. I think it looks really cool. And the pearl fence adds a little railing in between. This looks so cute already, but it's just the foundation that the castle is gonna sit on. For the main castle building, I brought up some more prismarine pillars and filled the parts in between with more corals, but I also added a giant window at the front. Now we've got this round castle wall, and that's gonna be a lot of space for my restaurant and maybe some dining places. And then on top of that, we can allow ourselves to use some more pearl blocks again and create a really magical roof here. It looks really cool, and maybe we can have some towers going up the side. But first we need to finish this roof, and I'm gonna add a bunch of these brain corals here. A big brain block for a big brain castle. After adding the pink corals, I also decided to add another little building on top of the roof. It's basically gonna be a mini version of the round building we just made, but this time the roof is made of prismarine because I'm running low on pearl. It isn't looking very castle-y though, so we need to bring up some more towers. So let's add some more of these coral blocks on the side. On day 90 I finished building the first of the 2 towers, and it's actually a little bit too tall because the tip is reaching out of the ocean, but I think that's super funny. Now we just have to build the exact same tower on the other side. Now we've got both of the towers, and I also added 2 little baby towers down here, and I think the castle is almost done, but I still got some pearls left over, so we could add a giant pearl on top of it, which also kind of sticks out of the water, but I think that's super funny. So now the castle is fully done and looking really cool, and I think I'm gonna call it the Pearl Restaurant. Now we just need a pretty entrance to it, so let's add a bunch of sand, because everything looks much better when it's sand. But we also need a staircase going up the hill towards the castle. Now every building in my base is connected by a road, but we still have to do the interior of this castle. We need a kitchen to cook food, and we also need a place for people to eat. I got rid of the stone floor, and I want to do a checkerboard pattern, so we're gonna have calcite and then the smooth prismarine around it, and then more calcite. I also made the room more round and added a ceiling, and now this is peak kitchen vibes in a very pink and pastel way. Now we need to bring all of the food, but we also need to craft a bunch of the kitchen equipment. So we need all of these, but they all need bricks. To get bricks we need clay, and clay is usually found in the river, or maybe not because there's a little bit of clay here. So we can just take that, and hopefully it's going to be enough. Let's put those in the furnace, then we can craft the skillet, the cooking pot, and of course the stove, but we also need this little cutting board. The fun part is going to be figuring out if I can actually cook underwater. Let's put the cutting board here, and that can be waterlogged, which is perfect. Yes, the fire is burning! Now it's time to cook. I want to make this cabbage wrapped elder guardian. So let's take a slab of elder guardian, we put it on the cutting board, and then we slice it. Wait, it says I can't cook while flooded! Okay, I might just have an idea, because we have sponges. We just need to put them in the furnace, so now they're dry. And by adding them in the kitchen, we can remove the water. We're creating a dry space underwater in the ocean. That is so funny. And after some time of placing white sponges, the whole room was no longer underwater. So now I'm no longer a mermaid in here, but I can still go outside, and then I'm a fish. Maybe it's better this way that I'm not a fish while cooking fish, because that's kind of sus, not gonna lie. We cook the elder guardian, and we have cabbage, which we can cut into leaves. We also have onions, but we don't have tomatoes, but I have tomato seeds. And now that this place is no longer underwater, we can actually have a little space to plant crops. And then we can plant the tomato seeds, and then boom with them and get tons of tomatoes really fast. And then we can create this cabbage wrapped elder guardian. But there are so many more things that we can make. We can also cook some rice in this pot, and then make a sushi roll of elder guardian. We also have 40 of these little guardians, and we can cut them up to get a guardian tail, which we can also cook in here. I'm eating a guardian, but here's one of the coolest dishes you can make, a guardian soup. But we need eggs, so I need to go on a really quick adventure to find chickens. On day 94 I finally found a forest, then I finally found a chicken, so now I just need to wait for it to lay an egg. I found even more chickens and put them in a hole, and after a while they finally started to lay some eggs. When I finally had enough eggs, I decided to go look for a beehive, because that's also part of a recipe. On day 95 I waited patiently for the bees to make honey, and when they finally made some honey I decided to steal it and then run run away super fast. There's one place they can't get me, and that's in the ocean, so goodbye bees. Because now we can cook honey fried kelp, which means we have another fun ocean dish. But the best part is of course the guardian soup. And the best part about this is that we can actually place it down. Look, we have a guardian soup bowl with the guardian soup inside. It looks like brains. On day 96, I had cooked a bunch of ocean related food. So now we just need to decorate the restaurant above us. We can have some water just flowing down here so we can swim up. And how about we make some tables and chairs out of all of the prismarine variants. I managed to fit a bunch of tables in here. We can add item frames on all of them and then display the food inside of them. And the best part is that we can display the guardian soup, even though it looks super weird underwater. That is the most cursed thing I've ever seen. It looks like a jellyfish with a brain. Let's also add some seagrass and anemones. Wait, they can grow on the wall too? That is so cool. And the sea urchins can go on the wall too. I never realized that. But this place is still kind of empty because we don't have any guests yet. So I want to catch some fish and then put them in there. Wait, there's another mermaid in my house? Hello? She's just standing there and looking at the pearls. Let's give her some fish and tame her. And she can be the first guest in our restaurant. And she fits right in here. Enjoy all of the food. And I'm gonna get her some fish friends. There's this weird fish up here, so let's take it. And this one here too. And look at this cute little clownfish. Let's also take it. And maybe we can also get those seahorses. Yay! I also saw this big fish and tried to put it in a bucket and it actually worked. And it's a leopard shark. I have a shark in a bucket. That's gonna be so cool in my restaurant. Maybe I can also catch this shark. A saw shark in a bucket. On day 98, I was still swimming around the ocean looking for fish to pick up, especially sharks. Aw, this one cannot come into the bucket. But can this one come into the bucket? I got a reef shark. But then it was time to head back home because I had tons of buckets full of fish. I made it back to my base on day 99. And now we can release all of the fish in the restaurant. Look at this fish. What even is this fish? This one is going to be so cool. A black tip reef shark, and it's actually displaying the name. We have a little fly fish and a lot of tropical fish. But what I really love are these beautiful luminescent seahorses and the leopard shark, the saw shark, and I love how it has a little saw. It's so cute. And a bonnet head shark. Yay, look at them. We have an entire room full of sharks and tropical fish, and we can chill here and enjoy a meal with all of the sea creatures. I added some last finishing touches to the castle and the surrounding area by planting a lot of sea decor, and I also hid a couple sea pickles behind the blocks. So now the castle has this beautiful light glowing effect. But now let's sleep the last night away. And today is day 100. I survived 100 days as a fish, I mean mermaid, and created a little underwater kingdom with houses for myself and for the mermaids. And to celebrate that I reached 100 days, I'm gonna have a lovely meal in the restaurant. I actually need to get hungry first though, so maybe we can remove the mermaid necklace and also take off the armor because that also gives us water breathing. And then we can drown a little bit so we get hungry. Now we can take a bowl of guardian soup and enjoy it together with our shark friends. I ate guardian soup. It was a great challenge to play underwater and survive without the usual resources found on land and try so many new ocean blocks that I never used before. And I hope you enjoyed it too. Let me know in the comments what kind of 100 days you want to see next, and I'll see you next time. Bye!